Good evening, groovy citizens, and happy, fantastic Friday. You guys, it's Friday. The weekend is here. Doesn't it seem like every time I say it's Friday, the weekend is here? It seems like I just said it the day before, which of course I did not, but it is Friday. So I hope you all have had a wonderful day. I know my day has been wonderful. It's been kind of busy, but wonderful nonetheless. You guys, this has actually been a super busy week, but it's been an amazing week nonetheless. So right now it is 83 degrees. And you all can't see, well, if you live in the DMV area, you can, but otherwise you can't see the sky. It is looking real dark right over here. And I believe we have some rain and thunderstorms headed this way. So I said, you know what, let me get outside, get this video done so I get my behind back in the house before the rain comes and I get soaked. Now, before I jump into today's topic, which is just right on time, I wanted to show you all my latest additions to my oils. So I went and got my wig done today, and it's nothing like getting your hair washed, y'all. And y'all, this brown, ooh, I'm loving it on me. It is so cute. But I digress. So I got me another bottle of Burberry Sport because I love me some Burberry, y'all. I keep that in my arsenal. And in this bag, I won't take them out. Well, maybe I'll have to take them out. Let's see. Yeah, we will. In this bag, I have Baccarat Rouge. That's what this one is. And all these smell so good. This one is Replica Matcha Meditation. That's a mouthful, but I'm loving that one. I think I'm wearing that one when I go to bed tonight to help me sleep better. Oh, I'm gonna sleep good anyway, y'all, because when I tell you I've had a long week, trust me, I've had a long week. And then I have two more. So I bought me 5 oils today. Normally I only get 2 at a time, but you know, when I see the oils and I like them, I grab them up because they'll be gone. This one is Flower Bomb Ruby Orchard. That's this one right here. And this one is Egyptian Musk 24 karat. Yes. So like I said, all of my oils are smelling good. And I was telling Keisha, I said, I need to find me a holder to put my oils in. Because right now I just have them sitting on top of my bookcase in my room. And she has a display case where in her shop area. And so she said, I'll let Monte know that you need a small one. I'm thinking I might need the size that she has, to be honest with you, because I'm collecting my oils. And so that I can put them in the little holders and it'll display so much better. So I'm looking forward to that. So those are 4 new ones to my collection. And like I said, my Burberry, I just keep that one because I love me some Burberry. Now, let's jump into today's topic. But before I tell you what the topic is, when I tell you, you really have to let go and let God in every area of your life. Because as I was preparing my notes for this car conversation, I had not checked my email. And when I read my email message, I read a message about keeping a member of my church family in prayer who had open heart surgery. And I read that she's home now, resting with her family. I thought, oh, well, praise God for that. But then I got a little concerned, just a little bit now, when I read the part that said she had stopped all of the treatments and what have you, and she's not eating, but she believes and trusts God for her healing. And so I know that she is a praying woman, so I'm not worried about that at all. And I definitely will be writing her name in my war binder this evening when I have my prayer meditation time before I go to bed. And so I just want to say that I want to keep each and every person under the sound of my voice lifted in prayer that's going through something. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm just keeping you lifted in my prayer, and I will be writing that in my prayer journal this evening, because we serve a good God. But little did I know that the topic I'm going to talk about really relates to the email message that I read. And my topic is how to get through the storms. Like I said, there are so many types of storms that we have faced, that we are facing, or that we will face in life. And one thing's for certain, two things for sure: you cannot go through life without facing some storms. Now, sometimes you get hit with a whole bunch of storms all at once, and it's even worse. So it's important to know how to get through that. And so this quote that I'm going to share with you, as always, is by Bishop T.D. Jakes. I'm going to unpack it as I go along, and then I will bid you all good day. And he says, sometimes when you enter into a storm, and there are all kinds of storms, there are health storms, physical storms, financial storms, emotional storms. There are all kinds of storms. He says, I'm not talking about the storms that rain down water and lightning and thunder and all of that. Like I just talked about, there's a storm on the way. No, not that kind of storm. He says, I'm talking about storms that other people can't see. Undetectable storms that make people think you haven't been through anything because you get up out the bed every morning and you put your hair up and you put your makeup on, and they don't know that you put your smile on just like you did your makeup and walked in smiling because you were going through a secret storm. Let me unpack that really quickly. Do you realize that when you go to work every day, or when you leave your house, period, and you see people that are smiling, I would say probably half of the people that you see smiling, they're smiling, but they're going through all kinds of hell, and you have no idea what they're going through. And they're not going to tell you, nor should they have to tell you, of course, but you just never know what people are going through. But just like you get up and you fix your hair, and ladies and gentlemen, you put your makeup on, some people have to paste that smile on as well, because they don't want the rest of the world to know that they're dealing with some stuff. But people do it every day. I don't know who I'm talking to right now, but somebody's dealing with a storm. I mean, I have a couple of storms myself that I'm working through. Nothing major, of course, but that I'm working through myself. But I believe that God is going to do what he said he's going to do. I believe that he is with me as I go through the storm. I believe he's with you as you go through your storm, or as you've been through your storm, or the storms that you will go through. I know that God is going to be there with you, and you never, ever, ever have to face those storms alone. So always remember that. And then he says, has anybody ever gone through a secret storm? I want you to think about that. Have you ever gone through a secret storm? Again, that secret storm is the storm that nobody knows you're dealing with. People look at you and they think that your world is just perfect. Everything is great because you're always smiling. You're always chipper. You're always upbeat. You seem to have everything that you could ever want in life. But little do they know you're dealing with a secret storm. When you go through a physical storm, somebody will hand you an umbrella or a raft or some help because they are aware of your suffering. But when you are going through a secret storm, there is no comfort there because nobody knows that you're dealing with a secret storm. Again, nobody knows unless you share it with them. Otherwise, only you and God know that you're going through that storm. They are jealous of a car that you're driving, not knowing that you're 2 payments behind. How many times have you been behind in a bill and people are looking down their nose going, she thinks she's all of that, or he thinks he's all of that. And they have no idea that you're struggling every month to make the payment on whatever that thing is. It could be that house you're living in. It could be that car that you're driving. Oh, but people are hating. The haters are going to hate, but they have no idea that you are struggling to keep whatever that thing is that you have. They are envious of the position you were promoted to, not knowing that now that you've been promoted to that position, you can't even rest at night. You've got so much pressure and so much responsibility on you. Again, people will hate not knowing the full picture. They're hating because you were promoted before they were, but they don't know the hell that you have to go through every day holding down that position. You've got employees that won't come to work. You've got employees that don't want to listen. And then when they do come to work, they're late. And you've got to tell them things 50 million times, but they're jealous of your position. And here you go home every day trying to figure out, Lord, how am I going to make it? And what can I do to get my team on track so that we can flow cohesively and not, bumping heads every day? They have no idea that you're stressing over that, losing sleep behind that. When we get in a storm, we have a tendency to wonder, where is God? I can raise my hand and be honest and say, I've had times in my life that I've gone through a storm and I ask the question, where is God? I go to church every Sunday. I read my Bible. I pray. I meditate. I believe in God. I believe that He is all-knowing. Ooh, my stomach is growling. Excuse me, y'all. I believe He's all-knowing and that He's everywhere. But where is He right now in my situation? I've even said, Lord, I see that you're with so-and-so in their situation, but when I'm going through something and I need you, you're not there for me, but you're there for everybody else. God, where are you? And if you say you've never done that, you're telling a tale, because we all have been down that road before. Job said, I look for him. He was there a minute ago, but now I can't find him. I looked on the right side and I can't find him. I looked on the left side and I perceived him not. Where is God in the storm? We buy into the notion that if God was with us, we would have no storm. That if God were really with us, we would be happy. That if God were really with us, everything would go smoothly. That if God were really on our side, we would have no family problems. If God were really with us, our bills would be paid. How can God be with us and us be in foreclosure? Come on, somebody. How can God be with us and we have cancer? How, I ask, can God be with us and we're going through all these different things? Joseph, I can't figure it out. How could my kid die and God be with me? How can my house be on fire and God be with me? I looked for him. I didn't see him. I looked on the right and I didn't see him. I looked behind me. You said you had my back. I didn't see him. I looked in front of me. I thought he would lead the way. I didn't see him. But you cannot see. This will shout you right here. He says, but you cannot see in a storm. That's why he told you to walk by faith and not by what? Sight. Because when there's a storm, have you ever been out in a really bad storm? And I mean, it's just a mess. And you actually had to pull your car off on the side of the road because the rain was so heavy and the winds that were just gusting that you couldn't see not even a few feet in front of you. That's because you can't see in the storm. And this is why we walk by faith and not by sight. It's just like right now, if I took these glasses off, I could read this piece of paper in my hand because I can see this, but I wouldn't be able to tell you if there was somebody in my neighbor's yard across the street because I can't see that far. Everything is just blurred. That's why you walk by faith and not by sight. Y'all don't make me break out into a preach. He says, don't look for God to be sensual in your storm. He will not appeal to your senses. Your senses add to your comfort. God will not make you comfortable. Come on, somebody, in your storm. See, because if God made you comfortable in your storm, you never want to come out of it. Why? Because you're comfortable. God makes you uncomfortable in the midst of your storm because he wants you to work on coming out of whatever that storm is. But just because you are in the presence of the storm, this will shout you, the storm does not negate the presence of God. Can I say that one more time? Or as I like to say one more again, just because you are in the presence of the storm, i.e. you're going through whatever it is that you're going through right now, the storm does not negate the presence of God. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? You're going through something right now, whatever that storm may be, but God is still right there with you. God never left you. His word tells us that he'll never leave us nor forsake us. So whatever you're going through, just know that God is in the midst of it. You are not by yourself. He has not left you to fight this fight that you didn't even ask for. Come on, somebody. Nor does it indicate the absence of God. So let me say that one more time and then I'm going to move on. But just because you are in the presence of the storm does not negate the presence of God, nor does it indicate the absence of God. So just because you're going through something doesn't mean that God has left you. It doesn't mean that at all. In fact, and here it is. In fact, if you really want to see God do his best work, get in trouble. That'll shout you right there. If you really want to see God do his best work, get in trouble. God visits your praise. He inhabits the praises of Israel. But if you want to know where God lives, he lives in trouble. And again, this quote was by Bishop T.D. Jakes. I'll make sure it's in the description box. You guys, I can't stress this enough. I don't know who this message is for. I really don't. I don't know who this message is for, but I need you to understand that just because you're going through something right now, God has not left you. He's not forgotten about you. He's in the storm with you. You want to see God do his best work, just get into trouble. And I don't know about you, but I've had times where I brought on situations myself and God was right there with me every step of the way. No, I couldn't see him. As Bishop Jakes said, I looked to the right and I couldn't see him. I looked to the left. I couldn't see him. I looked in front of me because I thought he would lead the way. I didn't see him. I looked behind me thinking he was bringing up the rear. I did not see him. But then I'm reminded, you can't see in the midst of a storm, but God is still there. His word tells us that he will never leave us nor forsake us. So whenever you are dealing with something, whatever you're dealing with, or should you deal with something down the road, just know that God is right there with you every step of the way. It may not feel like it. It may not seem like it. There are going to be folks that's going to tell you, you keep believing in that God if you want to. Where is he now? And you know what you do? You put on your best smile and you say, God is right here with me. I'm not going through this by myself. Do you realize that you've been going through your storm, or you're headed to a storm? And the reason why you can get through it is because God is right there with you. The reason why, have you ever asked yourself, Lord, I'm dealing with something, but I sleep good at night. I'm dealing with something, but you are still opening doors for me. I'm dealing with something, but you are still closing doors that need to be closed. I'm dealing with something, but you're still putting the people in my presence that I need to help me with whatever it is that I'm dealing with, oh God. Have you ever sat and wondered why that is? That's because God is with you every step of the way. And this is why I caution you that when you are going through a storm, again, no matter what it is, no matter how big or small, No matter whether it's just you or if it's you and it involves other people, none of that matters. Just know that if God wasn't right there with you, you probably would have had a nervous breakdown by now. And I'm going to say this, even if you are having a nervous breakdown, God is still right there with you. He's watching you saying, okay, I'm going to let Michelle go through this little nervous situation she's got going on. And then when I can get her attention, I'm going to remind her, hello, I'm still here. You're not dealing with this by yourself. You never have been and you never will be. God is always going to be there with you. So I want to encourage you today that as you go through your storm and you have people that are going to try to tell you that you should just give up on God and just do things your way. Or because I've heard people say, I'm tired. I've tried it with God and he's not doing anything. So I need to step out there and do it my way. Go on out there if you want to. Go out there if you want to. Me, I'm choosing not to do it without God because I know I can't do it without him. I know for a fact that I cannot do it without him. I cannot live this life without God in my life. Now, maybe you feel like you can. Hey, that's on you, but I know I can't. So as I bring this thing to a close, I just want to say this. If you are in the midst of your storm, if you are just coming out of a storm, or if you're getting ready to head into a storm, I need you to always remember that God is with you. He is with you every step of the way. And even when you can't see him, he still has his eyes locked on you. And he'll let you veer off the path only so much, and then he'll pull you back. He's not going to let you get too far off the path. And even if you do, he's still right there to put his loving arms around you, to remind you every now and then. And that's just like I said, you're going through some stuff, and every now and then you feel that calm that just comes over you out of nowhere. That's God saying, I still have you. I'm still here. Don't give up on you because I haven't given up on you. I am still here right with you. And you can do this. I have faith in you. So hold your head up. Thank God. Because y'all know I'm big on thanking God in advance. I don't wait for him to do things for me to thank him. I thank him in advance. The Bible says, call those things as if they were. So you should be thanking God every chance you get for whatever that thing is that you need for him to do. Thank him for it. Even though you haven't seen evidence of it yet, thank him anyway, because it's coming. It is coming. See, you can't have a testimony without first being tested. That's a whole nother video for a whole nother time, y'all. But you cannot have a testimony without being tested. And right now, this is your test. This is my test. This is our test. So you guys, that's it. That's all I have. I just want you to know that as you go through your storm, I need you to hold on. Hold to God's unchanging hand. And remember, he's right there with you. He will never leave you, nor will he ever forsake you. Even when you're wrong, even when I'm wrong, even when we're wrong, he still has us by the hand. And he's still guiding us where we need to go. So keep thanking him, keep believing, and keep walking with your head lifted up. Remember, we walk by faith and not relying solely on sight. If you're new to watching my videos, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. Y'all know I miss you when I don't get a chance to see you. Listen, go out there, enjoy the rest of your Friday. I don't know about you, but I'm going to sit back and relax, upload this video, do some editing, and I have some writing I need to get done before I go to bed. And then I'm going to call it a night because I have a full day tomorrow. But enjoy the rest of your evening, no matter what you choose to do. Whatever you do, do it responsibly. Be safe in your comings and your goings. Whatever you do, wherever you go, I need you all to just be safe. Because I want you to come back here and join me again tomorrow. God's going to watch over you, but you got to do your part too, okay? Remember that. Just go out there and be safe. You know what I like to tell you? If you go someplace and you meet someone, I'm all for people meeting people. I really am. But if you didn't come with that person, don't you leave with that person. Do not leave with that person at all. You leave only with the people that you came with. If that's just you and God, then that's what you leave with, okay? Because I want you to be safe. We live in such a crazy world where people they just don't care about anything or anyone. So I need you to help keep you safe. God's going to watch over you, but I need you to do your part as well. So, like I said, go out there, enjoy the rest of your evening. Come back here and join me tomorrow for another car conversation where I'll have some other motivational topic to share with you. Whatever it is that God lays on my heart, that's what I would share with you. And before I forget, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. Come on now. Y'all know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, tap the bell so you don't miss anything. And if you have a motivational topic that you would like for me to talk about, reach out to me. My Linktree link is in the description box. Click on that and you can send me an email. Reach out to me. Let me know what that is, and I will do my best to try to make it happen for you, because after all, my channel is for motivating you all, and every now and then I have to motivate myself. Okay, let me just keep it all the way real, but I want to give you topics that mean the most to you. So if you have a topic that you'd like for me to talk about, please, by all means, reach out to me and let me see what I can do to make that happen. Other than that, you know the drill and you know the spill. I love you all to the moon and back, and there is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that you can ever do about it, because I'm always going to love you. My goal is to motivate you, to see you happy, to make sure that you know that somebody cares, because not only does God care, but I care as well. I love you all, and we'll talk again tomorrow.